In today's video, I'm going to talk about how letting go of the plan completely changed my life for the better. Because there was a time in my life where I felt like I needed to be in control of everything. I needed to know what the next steps were in my career, which property I was going to move to next, which car I was going to buy, what holiday I was going to go on, the next stage of my relationship. I needed to know everything. I needed to feel like I had an element of control of the path I was walking. And I get that. It makes sense, right? It's what we've been taught our whole lives. We go to school, we get good grades, we get a good job, we earn money, we get married, have kids, etc. But when I was 35, I was speaking to a mentor of mine. And he told me that he wanted to live by the sea. That was always his dream. And I lit up in that moment because I was like, yeah, I also really want to live by the sea. And I'm looking forward to the day that I can move to my big house, be by the coast, go swimming in the summer. And I just had this realization in that moment that my mentor was 15, 20 years ahead of me in his career. And we were living and working in London. And this realization that if I wanted to fulfill that dream of living by the sea, I still needed to carry on working the way I was for another 15, 20 years. And I had a good job, I was earning good money, and I just realized that I didn't want to carry on living life that way. I didn't want to keep doing the same thing, the continued chasing, the constant pressure, the always needing to perform and prove. I just couldn't see myself doing that for another 15, 20 years. I had already burnt out once before, and I realized that I had to do something different. So I went away for the weekend and I was thinking about how I could possibly make my dream life come true now, without having to wait 15, 20 years. And I had this idea about moving to the south of England, moving my job, like relocating with my job, buying a bigger place and just starting a life there. But something about it didn't feel right. So it was 3.5 years ago now. I quit my job, quit my career, got rid of 99% of my belongings, and I took a one-way ticket out of the UK. I let go of the plan. I let go of what I thought life should look like. And from that moment, my life has just got better and better and better. And I wanted to share this video with you because I woke up this morning, it's Friday today. I woke up at 8:30. And for some people that might be normal, but for most of my life, I woke up at 5 a.m., 6, 7 at an absolute push. But when I woke up, I was wired. I was ready to go. I was off to the gym, or I was into the office, or I was just go, 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 taking the dog for a walk, whatever it was. I was up and I was out. And I lived life from this place of pressure, of always needing to do more, always pushing myself to do better, always being busy, always being productive, always performing and proving. I wanted to be the best at everything I did, and I was always making sure that I was constantly on. And it was exhausting, really exhausting. So today when I woke up, it's Friday today, I woke up at 8:30 and I was lying in bed with my girlfriend and the sun was coming through the window and I was just watching the sun on the wall. And I was just thinking back to 4 years ago when I never thought this life would be possible. I never thought I'd be able to wake up slowly, enjoy some breakfast, come and sit in the garden and film this. I never thought that would be possible. I always thought I had to live life a certain way. I was working 14-hour days sometimes, 6, sometimes 7-day weeks, never switching off. My life was pretty chaos. It looked amazing from the outside, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of amazing things in my life. But inside, I was lacking meaning. I was lacking purpose and passion. And I tried so many things to find that love, that spark, that excitement in my life. But no matter how many books I read, no matter how many courses I completed, even after having therapy, I couldn't find that enjoyment. I couldn't find that peace. So if I think about my old life, the 14-hour days, the 6-day weeks, compared to now where I'm working maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, 3 or 4 days per week, traveling the world, always in nature, always by the sea if I can be. Here I'm in Hungary, under this beautiful tree. In next month I'll be in Bali, then Thailand. The beginning of the year I was in Vietnam. Last year I was in India. I'm living this life where I can be wherever I want in the world. And I'm finally in control. Before I felt like I was in control, but actually life was controlling me. Today I let go of the plan, I let go of the shoulds, the coulds, and the woulds. And I live from this place of calm, clarity, and flow. I do things that feel good for me. I do things I enjoy. I create content that I feel will inspire others to live a life that they actually want to live. I work with incredible clients who have transformations from being overthinkers, from always being under pressure, from feeling like they can't slow down, from feeling like they're stuck in their heads, to completely transforming their lives where they, like me, have slow mornings. They put their phone in the other room in the evening so they can spend quality time with their partner or their children. They have lovely weekends with friends, playing sports, doing activities, going on trips, without constantly being in their head worrying about what's happening the following week. I've had clients who are reactive, snap, get angry really quickly, and no matter what they do, they don't know why. And within a few weeks, they're calm, they respond with a clear mind, without getting frustrated, without losing their shit. And I guess the key message here, when you start letting go, when you stop feeling like you need to control every aspect of your life, you can create a life of purpose and meaning while still being driven, while still being motivated and still being ambitious. Because I live a slow life, it doesn't mean that I don't want to be successful. I do. I want to create a huge impact in the world. I want to help people transform their lives. I've had clients who, when they slow down, their business does better because they're no longer acting from this place of fear that if it doesn't work out, fear that it could go wrong, fear that if they slow down, it's all going to fall apart. And they start moving into this place of trust, trusting that they're making the right decision, trusting that they're working with the right clients, trusting that they're charging the right amount. And when you shift from that place of fear to trust, from control to letting go or surrendering, life becomes easy. I want to say ease. It's not easy. Life becomes easeful. Life becomes without pressure. Life becomes calm. Life becomes peace. Life becomes beautiful. A few years ago, I would never have thought it was possible to create this type of lifestyle. I remember one of my old CEOs, he He owned the company, and he would come into the office maybe once or twice a month. The rest of the time he was in Dubai or Thailand. He was scuba diving or skiing. He was living a life where he did whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. He'd earn a good amount of money, but he was living life on his terms. He was free. And when I looked at the people in the office, the people that were working for him, even the people above me, they were working long hours. Yes, they were earning incredible money, but it was long hours. It was high stress, high anxiety, high pressure, high self-doubt, high second-guessing, high overthinking. All of this high stuff, except except feeling high, feeling happy, feeling joyous and bliss. That was missing. There's this book called Power versus Force. If you've not read it, it's David Hawkins. I highly recommend. And he talks about this idea that most of us through our life are always trying to force things. We're always trying to push to the next level. But whenever we push, we create a level of resistance, friction. And most people live their entire lives living this life of force versus friction. But then he talks about this idea of letting go. And when you let go, you start to operate from this place of power. And with power, with calm, clear intentions, without any second guessing, having confidence in yourself, self-belief, self-trust, you start to move through life with this power, without the friction, without the tension. And that's, I guess, why it feels like ease, because you haven't got the resistance, you haven't got anything pushing back at you. And that's not to say that creating this life has been easy. I want to make that clear. There's this difference between a life of ease and a life being easy. Because there have definitely been a lot of challenges for me over the last 3.5 years. I've had real low moments. I've had many days where I've wanted to give up, where I felt like maybe I should just go back to what I did before, go back to the safe option, go back and get a job in corporate, have that regular income, have that security, have that base, be in the same place. And you can still create this lifestyle and have your base, have your home if that's your desire. I live a nomadic lifestyle. I like to be in different countries. I live in about 5 or 6 different countries every year. And at some point, perhaps I'll find a base to settle down. But for now, this idea of letting go of what that looks like just creates more opportunities and potential for me. Because the human brain, it's like the blocker. And I think about it as if all ideas are coming to you from the universe, from source, from God, whatever term you use. And if we are completely open, if we completely surrender, we can move through life and do everything we need to do and have full abundance in every aspect of your life, not just wealth, but also in health, in relationships. But our mind creates limitations. Our mind becomes the blockage. And when we're trying to control the outcome, it just gets in the way. And I want to give you a challenge of creating a day where you don't control things. And that doesn't mean you go and lie down in front of the sofa and watch Netflix all day. Go outside, see what's happening, talk to someone you wouldn't normally talk to, Go somewhere you wouldn't normally go. See how it feels to try something different. Don't plan, just follow what feels right. And you don't need to do anything silly or crazy. Just follow your heart, follow your gut. Start listening to what's going on inside. And that practice, maybe a day might be too much of a challenge, maybe do it for an hour. But as you start to let go of that control, start to let go of the plan, how things should and shouldn't be, you'll start to notice how everything starts to open up for you. You start to remove that resistance. And many people will say that there's things going on outside of them that are creating that resistance, creating those obstacles, creating those challenges. And if you're watching this and you're like, well, I can't do that because of X, Y, and Z, that's just your limitations. It's just the mind that's getting in the way. And in actual fact, anything that's in your life, anything that surrounds you, is an extension of you. There's a reason why every person and every incident that happens in your life happens. It's there to show you something, to teach you something. And it's really beautiful. We did this challenge, an emotional mastery challenge. And it's this idea that you don't need to control your emotions. You just become aware of them. And every emotion comes with a message, a signal, or a sign. And very often we label emotions as good or bad, positive or negative. And everyone's like, oh, I must have happiness, peace, and joy, and I must avoid sadness, anger, and frustration. But in actual fact, what we label as negative emotions are just messages. They're signs to show us where we are currently trapped, where we are currently holding ourselves back. And rather than fighting or suppressing that emotion, if we can allow ourselves to be with it, not try to control it, just let go of the idea of needing to control, of needing things to be a certain way, and allow yourself to just be with that anger or that sadness. Notice where it is in your body, how it makes you feel. What do you need in that moment to feel safe again? Because very often it's our nervous system that's reacting to a situation. And perhaps there's an inner child in there that needs some support, or there's an incident that happened in your life that this particular moment is reminding you of. And you just need to let yourself know that actually you're safe. Nothing bad is going to happen. I created a program. It's a 6-week program called the Calm Reset. And I help people on this journey of going from stressed, pressure, overthinking, trying to control everything, to a place of calm, clarity, and being in control of life. Essentially letting go of everything that's creating the resistance in your life. And I've taken people on some amazing journeys where they are reactive when we start working together, to their partner, to their boss, to their family members. And then within a few weeks, they start to become aware of this pattern, and they start to let go of this idea of being a certain way. They start to notice this calmness within them, and they stop resisting the emotion. And at some point, this shift happens where they stop reacting and they start responding. I have other clients who feel like they need to be on all the time, like they're always behind, always putting pressure on themselves to do more, do better, like they're making up for something. And by the end of the 6 weeks, they're having slow mornings, like I did today. They're having evenings without their phone, spending quality time with their partner or their children. They're trying new hobbies at the weekend. They are going swimming, going hiking. And I've had other people who have completely transformed their business from being in a place where they always have to be in control of everything to finally stepping back, releasing some of that control, and seeing their business do even better when they stop acting from this place of fear or feeling like they need to control every little aspect. And everything just starts to flourish. Relationships, careers, businesses, even health. People come to me, they have so much tension in their neck, in their back, in their knees. And there's this idea that if they keep pushing, hopefully it will go away. Or if they just take some medicine, it will disappear. Or eventually they'll get over it. But the tension is coming from within. This constant pressure, this constant needing to perform, needing to prove. It's just built up. And then as soon as they realize where that's coming from, they can let go, surrender, release that tension. And it's a beautiful journey. I am currently not open to working with new clients on a one-to-one basis. But what I'd like to do is open a few 20-minute conversations. I'll put a link in the description below. And I'd love to offer you the opportunity to have a chat with me, not to sell you anything or pitch you or anything. As I said, my doors are currently closed. But I'd love to have a chat with you and see if I can help you identify where it is you're holding yourself back, where it is you are creating resistance in your life. Because what very often happens is that as soon as you become aware of what that thing is, you can learn to let go of it. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to book in a session on the link below. There are limited spaces, so see what's available. And if not, thank you for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.